The Chrislea L.C.1 Airguard is a late 1930s British two-seat cabin monoplane. It was designed and built by Chrislea Aircraft Limited at Heston Aerodrome in 1938. The company was formed on the 2nd October 1936 at Heston Aerodrome, England, and the company name was derived from the partners and designers Richard Christophe and Bernard Victor Leake, so there was never a bloke called Chrislea. The Airguard was the first aircraft they made, and they also later produced the CH-3 Ace and its variants, the Super Ace and the Sky Jeep. And in 1947 the company moved to Exeter Airport due to the closure of Heston. In 1952 C. Harper Aircraft Limited took over their assets, including 7 Super Ace and 2 Sky Jeep aircraft, all in various stages of completion or unsold. These were all scrapped in 1959. In total, 22 CH-3 aircraft before this takeover carnage were delivered, and there are still a couple of CH-3s still flying today. The LC-1 Airguard was designed to meet the specification issued by the Civil Air Guard for a cheap and simple aircraft which to train civilian reserve pilots. It was a conventional 2-seat side-by-side low cantilever monoplane with good visibility, powered by a 62 horsepower Walter Micron 2-in-line piston engine that Chrislea held the licence for. The fuselage was monocoque construction from the tail to the rear of the cockpit with 4 spruce legerons, all ply covered with vertical spruce stiffeners. The upper decking of the fuselage, of light ply construction, was non-structural, acting as a fairing for the cockpit. The cabin gave ample accommodation for 2 people, providing an excellent view both forwards and downwards, and behind the seats was a locker for baggage of up to 40 pounds. The wing was in 5 sections, and the centre section was built up around 2 parallel spruce box bars, which rested on top of the bottom legerons and were attached to vertical members of the cockpit walls. Steel plates with dural bolts provided bases for the attachment of the wings, and also the mounting of the undercarriage. For the outer wing panels, the spars tapered both in plan and thickness to the tips. Plywood ribs and light vertical stiffeners are used, and the whole wing is ply covered. 2 plates with 2 bolts apiece secure a detachable wing tips to the main spars. Simple 3-position manually operated flaps were fitted on each side of the fuselage, extending out to the ailerons. The tail consisted of 2 solid spruce spars, ply ribs and ply covered. The tailplane was built in 2 halves and linked to 2 dural plates which extended down the bulkhead of the fuselage. A steel quadrupod of tubular construction and bolted to the top of the longerons forms the base of the tail fin. The undercarriage was a simple half fork with rubber incompression dampening. The Airguard first flew with the registration Golf Alpha Fox India November in 1938. Test flying was undertaken by pilot Dawson Paul, and it performed above expectations and was a good aircraft. But it appears the aircraft in the end was never evaluated by the Air Ministry for the Civil Air Guard service, possibly owing to its foreign engine. The Air Ministry did have other big fish to fry, with World War II just around the corner. After a very brief change of ownership in May 1945, it was then the victim of a fire, and it was broken up shortly after. That was not quite the end. Later during the 1990s, the Aeroplane Collection Limited built a replica fuselage using original parts, wings and tail. This was nearly completed, but sadly broken up in the end. The basic stripped down fuselage may still survive today, but I can't confirm that. Thanks very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed that. Now the usual blurb. Please like, share or subscribe, as always appreciated, and do drop in a comment as well.